So here's the bat scene so far with all these big bats flapping around, but they're all doing it at the exact same time. So you can see how easy it is to set up instancing for those. So I'm just going to save that as a general instance. And then let's go ahead and then load up the original scene here, which is the flapping no fur, or you can load up flapping 02. I have a little fur issue in this computer. My plugin is not loading properly. So, all right, so we're going to make a couple of scenes here. And this allows us to use another tool called load from scene. So here is this original bat flapping. That's fine. We're going to save that. So we're going to save it as, so we know what it is. This will be bat flap for instance number 1. Okay. Now we need to adjust this. So in the scene editor, open that up. And up in the top right, there's shift keys and scale keys. Shift keys will add or subtract. Scale will multiply. And what you can do with this, and I'll just open this up so you can see all the motions, is you can grab any of the keyframes, and that's what these little buttons are right here, or tick marks, not really buttons, but these are keyframes. And you can actually grab and shift those, but there's an easier way than doing it manually, which is with these guys. So let's just scale times for all items. Our high frame was 8. And let's hit the tab key. Well, I don't necessarily, do I want to double it? Probably not. Let's go 1.5. So if I hit 2, that would multiply it to 16. So we're going to just go 1.5. And you see how all these keyframes just jumped out a little bit? So now this bat is flapping not quite twice as fast, or twice as slow, or half as slow, I should say, but just a little less. So watch. And remember, I have my play at exact rate on. So we'll turn that off with the options key. All right, so now he's flying slower just because this is off. But let's take a look at the wings. I'll select a bone. And we'll select this bone right here. So remember, the last frame was 8. Now the last frame is 12. So if the last frame were 16, we would have cut the speed in half. So we cut it half of a half, 25%. Okay, so we'll say File, Save Scene As, number 2. Okay, we can make an adjustment from this one if we wanted, very easily, or just go back to the first one if that makes things easier. We'll do it one more time. We'll make 3 different scenes. All right, so we'll open up the scene editor again. Open up our bat and our bone so you can see the keyframes. We're going to scale all keys for all items. First frame is 0, last frame is 8. We had done 1.5 before. If we do 2, it will actually be half the speed. So we're going to go 0.8 instead. Not quite twice as fast. And you can see the keyframes shorten up. And so now when we had our, let's get back here to the bones. Select this bone. When the last frame was 8, now it's 7. It doesn't need to be too much different. It's just an offset. So we'll hit this file as version 3. Okay, so there's version 3. Now I need to load in version 2 and 1. So if you load a scene, like I showed you earlier, it will automatically just override what you have here. If you use load from scene right here, and you can find it also in the load up here, right there, load items from scene. We can just click version 2. We have version 3 already loaded. Click open. And what this dialog does, it lets you bring in everything from that scene or just selected parts. It assumes that you want to bring in just the objects. So lights and cameras are turned off, and that's great. Say OK. And because we had put a null object on here, not so much for our instancing, but because of our joining of multiple bats, we can grab that master and move it over. And now if you look at these, they're flying at different rates. just with that little bit of offset. Let's do it one more time. Load from scene, and then we'll do number 1, because we loaded 3 and 2, then we'll do 1. Dialog comes up, just those, click OK. And then we'll choose the bat 3 master, and I'll move that back, just so you can see it. And then let's save this scene. Bat 3 flap. I'm very creative with my names. And now I got 3 different speeds, but still all good motions. The motions didn't change, just the timing of them. Now you put these into a flock and they're going to look a lot more random than all of them flying in unison. So let's do that in the next video.